Hi students, this is Professor Hinderocker, and this week's overview video is regarding week 2. You just finished week 1, so great job. I've been reading a lot of your discussion board posts and the assignments that you completed, and it looks pretty great so far, so I'm excited to see what you're going to be doing this week. This week we are going to be reading chapters 4 and 5, which is pages 89 through 143 in your textbook. Please make sure that you read all of those pages, both chapters, so that you are caught up and aware of what you need to know and understand for this week's assignments. You're going to view our weekly overview video, which is what you're doing right now, so great job. And you're also going to watch the instructor lectures, which are down here under Read and Review. So Chapter 4 PowerPoint and Chapter 5 PowerPoint. This week you need to complete quiz 2, your muscle chart number 1, and your CAP number 1. So we have 3 things to do this week besides our reading and watching our PowerPoint. So as I said before, your PowerPoints are right here. This is a reminder as to what you're going to read and review. After reading and reviewing all of the information that is above, you're going to take your week 2 quiz. So just make sure that you study the chapter readings in 4 and 5 the best that you can before you take this quiz. You have one chance to take it. You will not get a second attempt, so make sure that you're ready to take the quiz. The quiz will be 45 minutes long, so you have a good amount of time to take this quiz. Take your time. Make sure that you are saving your answers to the questions that you do answer. That way your answers are not null and void when you submit the quiz. If you have any problems with your quiz, please email myself or Professor Garrett, and we will be happy to help you with that. Moving on is our shoulder muscle chart. So you're going to complete the attached muscle chart using text boxes. So I already have it downloaded, but you can click here and download it. If you click the arrow right here, it'll say open and you can download it onto your own computer. But let me pull it up here. This is what it looks like. It says muscles of the shoulder listed alphabetically. So they are listed alphabetically. These are all the major muscles that you need to know for the shoulder region. You're going to write the origin, insertion, action, and innervation. And you have these notes along the side that are already filled in for you to help you figure out where those muscles are if you don't know where they are. Make sure that you are just writing in the origin, insertion, action, and innervation. I don't need full and complete sentences for all of these. That's a ton of reading for myself, and it makes it a little bit harder on you. So make sure that it's clear and concise, and that is what we're looking for in our muscle chart. Moving on is our CAP 1, anatomical terminology of the shoulder. So this CAP for the week, the purpose of this CAP is to assist in practical application and critical thinking. So we want you to think through different scenarios. We may give you a couple videos and or pictures of exercises that are being done, and we'll ask you, what plane of motion is this push-up being done in? Or what plane of motion is this tricep dip being done in? Which part of the tricep or the bicep is being used? Is the muscle being contracted anteriorly, and so on and so forth. So you want to make sure that you are reading the text, reading chapters 4 and 5, that you understand the major muscles of the shoulder, that you understand that there are 3 joints, 3 major common joints in the shoulder, and what they are, and how they move. So what is their range of motion? What planes of motion do they move in? And so on and so forth. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to myself or Professor Garrett. We are happy to answer your questions at any time. We want you to succeed in this class. You are encouraged to use your text and notes inside of this CAP 1, so that's exciting. You get to use the textbook that we have given you and the PowerPoint lectures that we've given you, as well as any other aids that you can find down here below. So you can use those. The only thing is you cannot use another classmate to do the CAP 1. So we just ask you that you please be integrous and do this CAP 1 on your own. We're trying to test and see what you understand and what you don't understand. And later on in the week, we will be making a video, or I will be making a video explaining each question and why the answer is what it is. That way you have a better understanding if you got stuck on a question, or if you simply just didn't understand the question or didn't know the answer. So further down, we see our web activities. These are supplemental. They're not required, but they're great resources that CBU has offered for you that we have. So biodigital study of the muscular system. This is all of the upper arm. If you click on that link right here, it will take you to pictures and it will take you through biodigitally what the muscles look like. Then we have Get Body Smart. We have all 3 of these links underneath Get Body Smart. I would really recommend that you watch this anatomy of the shoulder video. It's only 7 minutes long. It's not that long. And it will help you, if you're a visual learner, understand the muscles better. That's how my brain works. I need to be able to see it and touch it and look at it And so this video is really, it's very short, but it goes over all of the major muscles in the anatomy in the shoulder as well as the joints. So I would recommend that you do look at that video. We're going to go back up here. A couple of things to remember this week about the shoulder is there are 3 common joints. I said that earlier. You want to know what those 3 common joints are. You want to also know that there's one bony joint attaching the arm to our body. It's called the sternoclavicular joints, and it's up here. The shoulder has so much mobility because it has 3 common joints. And the thing that we forget as kinesiologists and or future physical therapists, PAs, gym owners, personal trainers, is that when we are consistently using all 3 common joints, or they are very mobile, that's the word I was looking for, we kind of sacrifice stability. So we want to be proactive in understanding each plane of motion, how our joints are moving, especially inside of our shoulder, and whether or not we are sacrificing the stability of our shoulder and the stability of our body in order to gain more mobility. So an example of this would be a volleyball player, and I'm going to use a volleyball player because I was one. When a volleyball player hits a volleyball, they can hit either straight in front of them, right, or they can hit out to the side. Now, when they hit out to the side, they're externally rotating their shoulder, and it's causing a lot of mobility inside of the shoulder joint, right, because it's a ball and socket joint. However, they're not using their core and their chest to promote a swing that's in front of their body, so bringing their arm internally towards their body, right? And so therefore we're sacrificing stability of our shoulder because we're externally rotating in a way that it's not natural for our ability to hit a volleyball. Whereas if I was to hit straight in front of me and simply turn my shoulders to hit in the direction that I wanted to swing in instead of externally rotating out, then I would be promoting stability over mobility. So it's kind of a catch-22. A lot of times we sacrifice stability for mobility when we're doing all kinds of different exercises. And you want to be sure that you're watching out for that while you are working with patients in the future. One other thing that I wanted to touch on is just perseverance. This course has a lot of information. I would really recommend that you memorize all of these things right here: origin, insertion, action, and innervation. You need to know those for every single muscle that you're going to be learning in this class. And that's why we break it down into sections. So this week, really focus on understanding those 4 categories for muscles, how muscles move inside of a plane of motion, how muscles contract properly and improperly. Persevering through the content is going to really make it a lot easier for you in the future when you're in, let's say, applied movement anatomy, which is the next course that you'll be taking after this one, or even into your master's degree, whether you're going to be pursuing a master's in physical therapy, or going to PA school, or going to being in the kinesiology program at CBU like I was. You're going to need to know all of these things. So I would really encourage you to persevere in the content. If you're struggling to understand it, or you don't know some great study techniques, please reach out to myself or to Professor Garrett. We've done this before. I was an undergrad student like you in the kinesiology department. I also was a master's student in the kinesiology department, and I had to figure out some ways to study for these courses that worked for me. And the best ways that worked for me were watching videos, being able to touch a skeleton, like a fake skeleton, and move the shoulder or whatever other part of the body through the range of motion that I was trying to learn, and discussing it with someone else. Now, that's a little bit difficult sometimes when we are just in a distant learning classroom, but we want to converse with you and talk with you about these things as much as possible. So we are available for video conferences, for conversations on the phone, emails, and everything above. We want you to succeed. So please don't hesitate to reach out. We really, really want to help you. That is about it for week 2. Again, you're reading chapters 4 through 5. Watch this weekly overview video, instructor lectures, and then your quiz 2, muscle chart number 1, and cap 1. You have 2 attempts to take your cap 1. Please make sure that you're studying hard and that you do your best on your first attempt. And then if you need to take a second attempt, then it is there for you. So I look forward to reading your work and talking with all of you soon and throughout the rest of this week. Have a great rest of your week, and good luck.